Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Love Over Fear Project. I'm Kanisa, and I want to thank you in advance for checking out this video. I hope that it inspires you and helps you along your journey. So today's topic is She Is Me. So it's predominantly for the ladies, of course. Men, you're welcome to keep watching. You might be able to take something from this for yourself, or you can share it with some friends or family members. The concept She Is Me, someone sent me a little while ago, they sent me a video of a woman that was doing some inspirational speaking, and she was speaking on this, She Is Me. And she was basically stressing the point that we're all connected. And especially as women, we're all connected. And a lot of times in our society, advertisers and just our society in general kind of pushes the notion that there's not enough. There's not enough men, there's not enough money, so you gotta go, and you gotta get, because there's not enough and stuff is gonna run out and you've gotta do it all for you, and that's not the case. Let me tell you, there's always enough. There's always enough, and sometimes we have to take different avenues to get what we need or what we want, but there's always enough, and we don't need to be in competition with each other. And like I said, a lot of times our society pushes that in our face, that we need to be competitive with each other. We need to be the skinniest. We need to be the prettiest. We need to be the smartest. We need to be the richest. That's not the case. She is me. We're the same. And for the most part, we all want the same things, and that's to be loved, that's to be beautiful, that's to be appreciated, that's to have healthy relationships with our families, to have healthy romantic relationships, right, as a woman. And of course it differs just a little bit, but basically a lot of times that's all we really want. Nothing too complicated, right? We have to start learning to appreciate each other more, and to do that we first have to learn to appreciate and love ourselves. And how do we do that? By taking care of ourselves, by taking care of our bodies and our minds and our spirits. All the same. They're all equally important. Physically, emotionally, mentally, we have to take care of ourselves. And when we start appreciating ourselves and loving ourselves, it's then that we can start doing that towards other people, and especially other women. There's no need to compare. We have to appreciate our differences. We have to focus on our similarities and appreciate our differences. Diversity is a good thing. This world would be a pretty boring place if we all looked the same, if we all sounded the same. So once we start appreciating ourselves and loving other women, we open ourselves up to some amazing experiences. And a perfect example, I went to Miami last year, the year before. It seems so long ago. I miss it. But it was my first trip to Miami Beach. And if you know anything about Miami, you know that everyone there is beautiful. It's apparently a crime not to be beautiful in Miami. It's just everyone is just like, whoa, okay? So you really got to be in a good place to be there and appreciate that. And I was in a really good place. Now, I was sitting on the beach by myself. My girlfriends, they had went somewhere. So I'm sitting on Miami Beach, beautiful weather. I'm just sitting there on my little towel. And I'm just loving, And so you know me, I'm a talkative person. But sometimes it can be, if you let ego get in the way, it can be a little intimidating. You're surrounded by all these beautiful people and these beautiful women with, out-of-this-world bodies and just gorgeous. And you're just like, oh, But if you, like I said, I'm loving myself and appreciating myself, and so in that state, I'm able to actually appreciate these other women more than I am be intimidated by them. But even still, ego is still there. So I'm sitting on the beach, and there's this really beautiful woman walking towards me. She's about to pass me, and I noticed she had a sundress on, like a cover-up, and it was so pretty. Now, normal me, especially if I was in North Carolina, I'd be like, oh, that's so pretty, blah, blah, blah. It would just come out, But for a second, ego kicked in, and it was like, honey, she doesn't need to tell you that her dress is pretty. She doesn't need you to tell her that she's beautiful. She already knows that. But what happened is I recognized that as being my ego. And I was like, no. No. I appreciate beautiful women, and I appreciate fashion, and I appreciate what she's wearing, and I'm going to tell her. It's a compliment. It can't hurt. You know, it can't hurt anything. And that process is what is important, is recognizing that that was my ego kicking in, stopping me from doing what would come naturally to me, which would be to tell her, hey, that's beautiful. So she's coming by, and I have put my ego in its place. I'm like, ugh, please stop. And I tell her, she walks by, I'm like, hey, your dress is beautiful, it's really pretty. And she's like, thank you. And she's got a bit of an accent, she keeps walking. And a few seconds later, she comes back. And she's like, can I sit with you? I'm like, oh, sure. So she sits down next to me on my little towel. We share a towel, and we start talking. And it turns out she is new to Miami as well. She's actually new to the United States. She just moved here from Serbia. And she just gotten married, and she's, going through culture shock. And we ended up talking for hours, and we just had the best time. And we exchanged numbers. And the next day we met for lunch at this cafe, at Miami Beach. And what an amazing experience. And we actually exchanged Facebook. So now every now and then we still speak and, just, hey, how are things going and everything. And what an amazing experience that I was able to have and she was able to have, because I was able to appreciate her and I was able to let her know. Okay? So my point is, if you're not in that state, if you're not loving yourself, you could be blocking yourself from some amazing experiences, from meeting some amazing people. So let's just consciously, together, let's just try to be in that state. She is me. You like to get compliments. Why not give a compliment here or there? It's not going to do any harm. And, passing on love and just passing on appreciation, that is how we make this world a better place. And it may not feel like it, may feel like a small thing, but it's actually a huge deal. Especially, the pressures of being a woman in this society. The pressures. So if you're in a good state, invite somebody else in that state by showing love and just letting them know, that acknowledging their presence. Because sometimes we just want to be acknowledged. It sucks to feel invisible, right? So if you don't like feeling that way, then obviously we want to make other people make sure that they know that they're acknowledged. And it kind of trickles down. It just, if you do that, hopefully they'll pass it on. And of course, don't do it with expecting anything back, but just do it because you know the power of love and the power of compassion and the power of just showing appreciation to other people and other women. And even on the flip side of that, if you run into someone that's having a bad day, a woman that's having a bad day, and she gives you attitude or she's being nasty to you, don't take it personally. I don't know if you just heard the doorbell. My lunch date is here. So I have to go, but we're going to continue this. There's going to be a part 2 to this because this is really important stuff and it's something I know a lot about. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching another video, Love Over Fear. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.